Welcome to AI in 10. I'm Chuck Goetschel, and every day I break down the biggest AI story in just 10 minutes. What it is, why it matters, and how you can actually use it. Picture this. You're watching the world's most influential AI company lose its top talent over a Pentagon deal, and it's happening right now. That's like watching the captain and crew abandon ship while the company sets course for military waters. OpenAI just lost another key executive. Caitlin Kalinowski, who led their robotics and hardware engineering team, walked away on March 7th. Her reason? She couldn't stomach Sam Altman's decision to partner with the Department of Defense on military AI applications. She said her choice was about principle. Now here's what makes this really significant. This isn't just one person having second thoughts. This is part of a massive leadership exodus that started back in September 2025. Remember Mira Murati? She was OpenAI's chief technology officer for 6.5 years. She literally served as interim CEO when Sam Altman got briefly fired in 2023. She was instrumental in building ChatGPT, the platform that put AI on everyone's radar. She left in September. But here's the kicker she didn't leave alone. On the exact same day, Vice President of Research Barrett Zoff and Chief Research Officer Bob McGrew also announced they were done. 3 top executives walking out together. That's not a coincidence, that's a statement. And before that, co-founder John Schulman and former executive Jan Leakey had already jumped ship to join Anthropic, OpenAI's main competitor. Lake even went public with his criticism, saying his disagreements with OpenAI's leadership had reached a breaking point. So what's really happening here? Let me break it down in simple terms. OpenAI started as a nonprofit with a mission to develop AI that benefits humanity. Think of it like a research university focused on advancing knowledge for everyone's good. But in the past year, they've been transforming into a for-profit company to attract massive investment. We're talking about a $150 billion valuation. That's like turning a community garden into a commercial farm. The goals completely change. Now they need to generate serious revenue to justify that valuation. Enter the Pentagon deal. Military contracts are huge, stable, and lucrative, but here's the problem. Many of the engineers and researchers who built OpenAI's technology believe AI should stay out of military applications. Caitlin Kalinowski was one of those people. She looked at the Pentagon partnership and said, "Not with my work." Sam Altman, OpenAI's CEO, has been trying to frame these departures as natural transitions. When Mira Murati left, he posted that he was saddened, but of course supports her decision and praised her contributions. That's corporate speak for we have no idea why everyone's leaving, but we're pretending it's fine. The pattern tells a different story. The most experienced, principled people at the world's leading AI company are walking away because they disagree with where it's headed. That's not normal corporate turnover, that's a red flag the size of Texas. Now you might be thinking, Chuck, this sounds like corporate drama. Why should I care about executive musical chairs at some tech company? Here's why this matters to your actual life. First, let's talk about your job security and workplace safety. When the smartest people building AI systems leave over safety concerns, that affects every workplace using AI tools. These aren't just any employees, these are the people who understand how to build AI systems that don't go haywire. If OpenAI prioritizes military contracts over internal safeguards, the AI tools filtering your job applications, managing your healthcare, or running your company's systems might be less reliable, think of it like losing the quality control team at a pharmaceutical company right before they start mass production. Second, this Pentagon deal isn't happening in a vacuum. Military AI development often leads to civilian surveillance technology. Military AI development often leads to civilian surveillance technology. The same systems designed for the Defense Department have a funny way of showing up in police departments, airport security, and border control. Without principled engineers like Kalinowski shaping these systems, you have less protection against misuse. That facial recognition system at your local mall, it might be powered by technology originally designed for military operations, developed without the oversight of people who quit over ethical concerns. Third, let's talk about your money and investments. OpenAI isn't just any company, it's valued at $150 billion. That makes it bigger than most countries' entire economies. If their key talent keeps leaving, their ability to maintain and improve their products could seriously deteriorate. You might not own OpenAI stock directly, but if you have a 401k, retirement fund, or any tech investments, you're probably exposed to AI companies. Leadership instability at the industry leader affects everyone. And here's the bigger picture. This leadership exodus is really about a fundamental question. What kind of AI future do we get? The people building these systems right now are deciding whether AI becomes a tool that empowers individuals and families, or whether it becomes primarily a weapon for governments and big corporations. Every principled engineer who walks away from military AI development is a vote for keeping this technology in civilian hands. That matters because the decisions being made today determine what AI tools your kids will grow up with. Alright, so what can you actually do about this? Because I'm not going to leave you hanging with just the problems. First, stay informed about AI company leadership changes. I know it sounds boring, but hear me out. When engineers publicly cite ethical concerns for leaving a company, that's like a canary in a coal mine. It's an early warning that the company's priorities might be shifting away from safety. Follow reputable tech publications. When you see headlines about executives leaving AI companies, read their statements. If they mention concerns about military applications, safety, or company direction, pay attention. That information helps you make better decisions about which AI tools to trust. Second, vote with your wallet and attention. Remember how John Schulman and Jan Leike left OpenAI to join Anthropic? They made that choice because Anthropic has a stronger commitment to AI safety. If you care about ethical AI development, you can support companies that prioritize safety over military contracts. That might mean choosing Claude over ChatGPT for your personal use, or recommending that your company evaluate alternatives to OpenAI's business products. Individual choices add up to market signals, and market signals influence corporate behavior. Third, engage in corporate accountability. If you use OpenAI products and millions of people you can submit feedback about their ethical standards and military partnerships. I know it feels like shouting into the void, but companies actually track this stuff. Corporate engagement creates documentation of stakeholder concern. When investors see that users care about ethical issues, it influences board decisions. You're not just one voice, you're part of a pattern that investment firms pay attention to. Fourth, prepare for the policy debates that are coming. The tensions we're seeing at OpenAI will definitely lead to bigger conversations about AI regulation, military use restrictions, and corporate oversight. You can educate yourself on these issues now so you're ready to participate. That might mean attending town halls, submitting public comments on proposed regulations, or just staying informed enough to vote intelligently on AI-related policies. The decisions made in the next year or two about whether companies like OpenAI can freely sell to the Pentagon will shape AI's role in society for decades. Your voice in those debates matters more than you might think. And here's something practical you can do right now. If you're just getting started with understanding how AI actually works, my AI Explained course walks you through everything in about 30 bite-sized videos. Understanding the technology helps you engage more effectively in these bigger conversations about where it's headed. Look, here's what this all comes down to. We're watching a real-time battle for the soul of artificial intelligence. On one side, you have principled engineers and researchers who believe AI should benefit everyone. On the other side, you have massive financial pressure to commercialize AI for military and corporate applications. Caitlin Kalinowski's resignation isn't just one person's career decision. It's a canary in the coal mine, telling us that the most powerful AI company in the world is choosing profits over principles. But here's the thing, this story isn't over. The AI industry could still bifurcate into companies that prioritize safety and companies that prioritize military applications. Which direction wins depends partly on how individuals like you respond to these developments. The future isn't predetermined. The choices you make about which AI tools to use, which companies to support, and how engaged you get in policy discussions will help determine whether AI becomes a tool of unprecedented empowerment or unprecedented control. As I always say, I'm not a political advisor or corporate strategist, but I am someone who's built and sold an AI-powered company. And I can tell you this, the next few years will determine whether AI serves families and individuals, or whether families and individuals end up serving AI systems designed for other purposes. The exodus at OpenAI is your early warning system. The question is, what are you going to do with that information? That's today's AI in 10. If you want to go deeper and learn AI with a community of people just like you, join us at aihammock.com. I'll see you tomorrow, my friends.